What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I hope and I trust that everyone is doing well. I'm doing well myself, thank God. So anyway, for those who don't know me, my name is Magaly Ingabire. I go by Magaly Pearl. So if it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment, and make sure you hit the notification button so you will always be notified every time I post a new video. I'm excited that you're here. Thank you for giving me your time. And for my subscribers, you guys are my jam. Thank you all. I appreciate your loyalty. I appreciate your love. I am telling you, this channel is growing because of you guys. And feel free to to send me your questions. Feel free to share any suggestion, any topic that you might think that that you might want me to talk about. Feel free to DM me or send me an email or put it in a comment and say, hey Magaly, we would like you to talk about this, and I will be more than happy to do so. So today the title for this message is I'm here to share 15 life lessons I learned in this year 2022. Let's get started. So this year, the first lesson I learned to focus on what I have, and I also learned to be more like grateful, like gratitude, not only when good things are happening, like good things are happening to me, but even when things are not going my way, I learned to be grateful and to focus on things I have. The second lesson I learned this year is to always trust my intuition. I am telling you, I don't know about you guys, but one of the areas that God speaks to me a lot is through my intuition. I know He does speak to me in my dreams, but He does also with my intuition, And like two things happened to me this year that were not supposed to happen, but because I was so stubborn and I really made those decisions based on my emotions instead of following the voice of God and actually following God's truth. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing bad, but it's things that were not supposed to happen anyway that could have been avoided. So trusting my intuition. Let me tell you guys, trust your intuition, especially as women. There's always that thing. Actually, it's not even just women. I know that women, we feel like the intuition stronger than men, but men do have that too. We, like all of us, God has given us the ability to be intuitive. Number 3 is I learned not to compromise my boundaries or standards. And values, by the way, let me add that, because especially as a Christian woman, Christians, we have Christian values. You have boundaries, you have standards, you have things that you cannot, there's certain things that you will not do, and there's certain things that you won't allow in your life. So this year, yes, I got tested in so many areas. Like some people were testing my boundaries and my standards. So this year was full of some tests to really test my boundaries and standards and values. And I am super grateful that, God was able to show me that, like I'm getting stronger in this area, regardless. Because sometimes I notice that we do compromise our values, standards, and boundaries because we are afraid of being disliked. We are afraid of losing or being misunderstood. And it's just like the people pleaser thing. And one thing I learned is like, if you are going to be a healthy person and the best version of yourself, and if you really want to transform into the man or woman God wants you to be, you really, really have to overcome the people-pleasing syndrome. You got to stop compromising. You cannot achieve all of that. You cannot achieve that if you're gonna worry about what people say or think about you, or if people like you. You cannot achieve that if you don't have strong, healthy boundaries and you don't honor your values. So, guys, I highly recommend that you also learn to not compromise your values. And trust me, it does pay off, because the benefit of that is that you always gonna have your peace of mind, clarity. You're gonna stay focused in your project, what you do, and then it keeps the wrong people away and it keeps the right people in your life. So number 4 is this year I learned to let God do what I cannot do. If you're like me, you're like a strong, independent lady. You know, we tend to really just want to fix everything. We tend to, want certain things to be done a certain way, or mostly our way. But this year, I remember, like, I'll give you a story. I got into my car was like, I got into a small accident, and my insurance was giving me so much headache. And I was like, you know what, God, I'm not even gonna stress it. I'm not even gonna call and be aggressive with my insurance. I was like, God, I'm gonna let you handle that. And guess what? Listen, I let it go, and yes, it took some time, but God came through. Literally, God came through. So don't force nothing. Don't try to control anything. Just let God do what you cannot do. Let God fight your battles. Do what you cannot. Do what you can. Leave the rest to Him. Number 5. This year, I learned to love myself unapologetically. Like, a lot of times we invite or we allow certain things, certain, people to treat us a certain way, or we treat ourselves a certain way too, because we don't love and accept ourselves. So loving yourself doesn't mean that you accept like bad things to happen in your life. No. It's looking at everything that happened to you and facing them and say, hey, this is, who I am. This is what made me who I am. Yes, I am a work in progress, and I need to continue to work on myself to continue to be a better person each and every day. So you love your flaws, you love your weaknesses, you love your strength. You put everything, you give it all to God to continue to work and transform you and be, for you to be a good person, to be even better. And when you're at that place in your life, if somebody likes you, cool. If they don't like you, it is what it is. Like, it really doesn't change anything about you. Because also, if you depend on other people to love you, what happens when they take their love away? So, number 6 is I learned not to compare myself or my life with other people's life. I don't compare myself with other people. I celebrate others, I admire other people's success and achievements, but I don't compare myself with any of them, because we are all here with we all have unique journeys, we all have unique callings and gifts. So if I try to compare myself with someone else, listen, I don't know what that person went through to get where they are. I don't know what they had to endure to get where they are. And I don't know if I am capable. If I compare myself and I want someone else's blessing, I don't know if I'm built to handle that blessing. Number 7 is I learned to be content with myself. Being completely content and satisfied, because you can love yourself but not be content, and a lot of people confuse like the self-love that is kind of like narcissistic kind of love. Usually that love is really not, it's never content with, it's always that type of love that actually is like, I want what I want and I want what the other person has. I want everybody is like, it's like there's no contentment with, who you are and just being grateful of where you are, what you're doing and how far you've come. So being content, man, I'm really content with everything that's happening in my life, highs, lows. I'm just like, you know what? Nothing is happening against me. Nothing is supposed to or meant to happen against me. Everything that's happening in my life is happening for me, for my good. Just like the word of God says, that's everything that happens it happens for our good. So that for those who love God, who love the Lord. So nothing, I'm telling you, God never wastes anything in your life. Everything you're going through right now is going to work for you. It might be tough right now, but it's going to end up working for your good. Number 8, I learned to always keep it real with myself. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? Keep it real with yourself. Look at multiple choices you have in life. See which one is leading you to life, which one is leading you to distraction, which one is leading you to peace, which one is leading you to chaos, which one is leading you to a journey of healing or anger or bitterness. Which one is leading you? If we keep it to, like, we have to, like, I learned to keep it real with myself, because And also, we like, before you ask somebody else to keep it real with you, keep it real with yourself as well. Like, genuinely, like, don't tell yourself what you want to hear. Like, don't tell yourself, and no, not telling yourself what you want to hear also keeps your eyes open. You are able to hear. People will tell you what you want to hear, or will tell you actually what you need to hear, like the truth. Number 9 is I learned to congratulate myself, to celebrate myself when I win. And then another thing also I learned, correcting myself when I'm wrong. Number 10 is I learned to check my ego. I'm still learning to check, because I'm telling you, like, the ego is our worst enemy. Especially even when it comes to our walk with God. Ego can get in our way sometimes, you know. Sometimes you might need help, like deliverance or prayer, or you're fighting something that it's too big for you. It's too, you know, it's too big for you to fight it by yourself. And like, sometimes you be like, you know what, I don't need somebody, I got this, I'll do it. No, man, check your ego. Ask a friend for help, you know. Ask a friend, somebody who knows, who's been there, who's, you know, been in the same shoes, or who knows better. Ask them so that you can learn. Because, you know, never allow anybody to misjudge you or to judge you because you ask for help or because you don't know something. Because if they laugh at you, that's actually ignorance. Because learning is a constant. If it's one thing that is constant in this life, is change and learning, you know, because we're always learning. I learned to remove myself from situation, environment, or people that don't bring the best in me. If you're around people who make you feel, who are attacking you, for example, you're in a place that's there's toxic people, there are people who are maybe gossiping, or they're jealous, or they want to make you feel, belittled. They want to, attack your sense of worth and stuff like that. Or you're just in places that really don't make you grow and advance. You should never stay in a situation like that. I don't have time to be around people where I feel like I have to explain myself why I choose to follow Christ, or why I am the way I am. Like, it's no. God bless, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very loving and respectful person. So I always remove myself in those situations with always like respect. So that's the thing. Because we're all learning, right? I've been there. I know that I used to have stupid conversations before. I used to do stupid things, and every now and then I might do something that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect, I'm no saint, but I'm definitely not the girl that I used to be, 1 year, 2, 3 years ago, 4 years, 5 years ago. So yeah, so conversations that are not taking anybody, somewhere, I don't have time for that. And if I find myself, even at work, say there's some conversation, people start talking about certain things, I excuse myself and leave. If I'm not able to leave, I'm just like, hey, I'm sorry, you guys are having this conversation. I'm not comfortable talking about this thing or hearing these things. We have to be firm too and be straightforward. If people are talking about things that are traumatizing or that are not worthy, remove yourself from that if you can. Or simply just be like, hey, respectfully say, I'm sorry, I know you guys are having a conversation, but just be considerate. I'm here, and I don't like those type of conversation. Can you guys have this conversation another day? Mostly some people might be offended or whatever. If you think they're gonna be offended, then remove yourself. Like, excuse yourself, say, hey, listen, I'm just gonna walk away. I'll come back when you guys are having, you're done having this conversation. Because sometimes also it can be rude to tell people not to talk about what they want to talk about, because you gotta let people talk whatever they want to talk. But you can remove yourself, right? If stopping them might offend them or create issues, then excuse yourself. Just ask you why you're leaving. Just say, hey, I don't want to be a burden, man, but I'm not comfortable with this conversation. I will leave, and come back when you guys are done. This year, I learned the difference between moving on and moving forward. Because we tend to think like, I moved on, it's the new year, we're moving on, like normal. But are you moving forward? Like, moving on and moving forward are completely two different things. You can move on and not move forward, right? You can move forward and not move on. So it's important that both go together. let's say something bad happened to you, and then maybe somebody did something bad to you, and you still talk about it in a way that, like, you're still sad about what the person did, instead of looking at the lessons that you learned from that. You move on, you moved on, but you never moved forward. Because to me, moving forward means that anything happens, you learn from it, you take the best lesson, you move forward, and you apply the wisdom that you learned from that, you apply it in your life to make your life better, and to also make other people's lives better. So moving forward is important as much as, moving on and moving forward is, they're too important. You can, doing both at the same time is wise. Number 13, I learned to be more intentional with my time, my energy, my focus, my resources, my relationships. We have to be intentional. I'm telling you, if you're not intentional with your time, you just let things happen, or everything you're called, you're invited everywhere. You go everywhere you are invited. You pick up every call that, that comes through, or, your resources, you just, whatever, you put everything out there, your energy, your focus. You want to reply to negative things, or you want to, you want to really be intentional with your resources, your energy, your time, your relationships. Be intentional. Who are you hanging? Your people, your tribe. If you hang among the wise, you will be wise. If you hang around full people, you are going to be full too. If you are not intentional with your time will fly. Time will go. You will end up being somebody who wasted their time. If you're not intentional with your focus, like, you're going to give your attention to everything, when not everything is supposed to have your energy and your focus. So I learned to be very intentional, because we have one life here to live on earth, right? But there's another life, obviously, eternal life. But here on earth, it's one life. When we go, we're not coming back. You know what I'm saying? So you want to really maximize your time here. You want to be intentional. You don't want to live anyhow. You really want to live your life in a way that your future self will thank you. Your children will thank you. It's like you really want to make time work for you and not against you. Number 14, I learned the difference between helping someone and saving them. Like helping, servicing somebody else versus saving them, or saving them. So we tend to, especially Christians and also religious, make us feel like we are literally, like, you're responsible for someone else's life. Religion wants to make some people feel like, they're entitled, or wants us to make us think that we are responsible for someone else's life, but we're not. Every single human being is responsible. As long as they are an adult, they are responsible for their own life. If you're under maybe 18, you're under 18 years old, I would say that you're still, you need a parent, a guidance. We all need, yes, guidance. But when it comes to being responsible for someone, like you are, you're paying the bills, you are responsible of their emotional well-being, their intellectual well-being. That's, as an adult, that's no. Maybe in marriage, because you become one, then you're responsible. But outside, when it comes even to friendship, you cannot make someone happy. Happiness, people gotta find joy on their own. You know what I'm saying? And then when we come together, we can add to each other's joy. But depending and wanting to save somebody, no, you're gonna end up actually losing yourself in the process of trying to save somebody. The Holy Spirit is the one that does the job. So one thing I learned is, I used to be a person who wanted to, and I'm like that, I'm an empath. So I learned to have boundaries, to know that just because somebody comes and tell me their problems, it's not really my job to fix every problem. Sometimes before I even try to help, I need to talk to God before and ask him. And when God gives me instructions, I have to listen. And this thing happened this year twice. When I asked God to tell me what he wanted me to do with a certain situation, and he told me what to do and he gave me instructions, but I still went ahead. And again, what did I do? Nakurikiye amarangamutima yanjye, my emotions. This is like, you never can never. One thing is that we sometimes tend to think that we're smarter than God. Like, nobody. One thing is, God is no. I learned, like, servicing somebody does not cost your own well-being. Helping somebody does not cost you your own happiness. You know what I'm saying? It's when we're trying to serve somebody and we're trying to carry their burden and be responsible for their lives. When we're not, we cannot. So I learned that this year, wow, in a way that is, I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. And the final one, the last one, is this. Number 15, which is the last one, is this year I learned that I owe everyone love in this life, but I don't owe everyone access to my life. So you get to choose who you allow. That's a personal choice. Who you allow into your life, who you allow access to into your life. So when you learn that, your life will begin to unfold in a better way. You will become the most happiest person, the most peaceful person, the most, like, drama-free. You will understand that not just because people are attracted to you, it don't mean they're qualified to be in your life. So learning this will also protect us from bad relationships, bad friendships, just finding ourselves in unhealthy situations. And also, it allows us to bring people to allow access, to let the right people have access in our lives. So this has nothing to do with walls. No, it has everything to do with boundaries, because walls actually keep everybody good, bad, they keep everybody out. But boundaries is like, no, I see, it's like a filter, you know. When you do the filter, it always takes the bad and it puts it away. So that's how it's supposed to be. Check. Not everybody, you owe everybody love, and yes, and respect. Not everybody, yes, deserves the respect, but I do believe that we still have to honor others, you know what I'm saying? But access, who you give access to your life, it's your choice. And don't ever let nobody make you feel guilty for doing that. There you have it. I'm done. Thank you guys for watching. I want to ask you to subscribe, share this video with so many people, leave a comment down below. And last, I want to thank you for watching. I truly appreciate you. I love you all, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.